guys, I'm Brittany and I am a member of Biblio-Curious, and this will serve as my review for Ender's Game by Orson Scott Wells. I wanted to say like F. Scott Fitzgerald. That's really embarrassing. Let's see. Orson Scott Card. I don't know what I said. Is that what I said? His name's Orson Scott Card. I have here that I rated it a 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. The reason I'm referencing my Goodreads review because I actually read this book quite a long time ago, and I've read many books since. Not to brag, I read a lot. No, I was just on vacation, so I had a lot of reading time. But I think that's kind of good because I can talk about the things that stood out about this book to me, especially since it's about to be a movie, and the book will have faded a bit more by then. Um, I remember getting into the book was a little bit difficult for me. I feel like I really love books that a world is created, and there was definitely a world created in this book. You kind of aren't really sure the whole time. You kind of just assume it's the United States in the future or the world that we currently live in. All the rules are the same, it's just the future. So it's as though our rules have been shifted, I don't know, let's say 100 years in the future. And they keep talking about these buggers, which I'm not spoiling the book at all because that's at the very beginning. They talk about these buggers, and I don't really know what those are. And it's almost as you're reading the book, this world is being unveiled, which I thought was kind of a cool way to write and a kind of cool way to explore the world. Did it have me reading, just hungry to read and turning the page or sliding the page since I was using a reader? Not so much, but I did enjoy it. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars only because I have heard of this book since I was a child, and I guess I was expecting more out of it. So maybe it's kind of like how I heard Les Mis was really good and Anne Hathaway was amazing before I saw Les Mis in the theaters, and then I was like, eh, she was all right. But I mean, obviously she won an Oscar, so she was good, and obviously this book has quite a following, so it must be good. That doesn't mean I have to love it, and that doesn't mean that you have to love it either. I actually watched Rissa's review already because I am not, I don't know, I thought I should see what she said first because I can't think for myself. But I actually really loved what she said about the character of Anderson. They never mention in the book whether Anderson is a man or a woman, and it doesn't matter for the character. So when I saw the trailer for Ender's Game, which I'm really excited about, I'll get to that in a second, but when I saw that Anderson was a woman, I was like, that's awesome. That's brilliant. I wish I had thought of that. Um, but of course, when you're reading a book, it's your own brain, and apparently my brain doesn't think that a woman can be a commander, so that's on me. That's my bad. As far as the movie goes, I'm really excited about it. I don't know about you, but when I read a book from children's point of view, kind of like Hunger Games, Harry Potter, you do recognize that these people are children, but since you're living inside their head, you don't really think like, oh, children, especially because the character of Ender thinks like an adult and they talk like adults. So it's really hard to remember that they're children, which is why I think Mr. Orson there mentions it a lot. So I'm excited to see the movie version where you kind of cannot forget that they're children because they'll be on screen and they'll be children. And Harrison Ford is in it, and I love Indiana Jones, Star Wars. I'm excited. I love him so much, and I also think he's a super cool uh, famous person. I don't know if you've seen interviews with him, but he kind of just like sits there, and you can tell he doesn't really want to be there, and that his publicist is kind of making him be there, and he'd rather be like flying airplanes or doing something awesome. And I just love that about him. I think he's a real guy, so I think he's gonna be great in that role. Um, so I apologize that I don't have more to say. Like I said, it's been a while since I read the book. Would I recommend it to someone? Yes, absolutely. I would say it's a book that I feel like you have to read. It's part of our culture. Like I've heard about it since I was a kid. Why has it taken until I'm 21 for the seventh time to read it? I don't know, but I would definitely recommend it. Would I say it's the best book you've ever read? No, but you'll enjoy it and it'll keep you reading. And when it gets to the end, you're kind of be like, brain explosion a little bit, but not a lot. I don't want to ruin it for you. So that's my review. If you count how many times I said uh, well, there's probably a lot, and I apologize. But I look forward to seeing the gals of Biblio-Curious next month live. And you guys, please join us live for our live discussion. We're reading a scary book. I'm terrified. So on that note, I will bid you a fond adieu. So adieu.